So thank you very much, everyone, and thank you, Sally, and for the nice introduction. And you're not the first one, you're not the last one to mess my name. So it's a difficult name, but as long as you call me, I'm fine. So thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. And it's an honor to join you here today and to tell you really about what LA is doing. But really, I also carry or have a hat, and a national hat. I was the immediate past president of the National Association of Clean Water Agencies, NACWA, and we work really hard on the One Water efforts on the water and the utility of the future, and how we're going to really become resilient as an industry, not only in addressing water quality, water quantity, water supply, but also becoming resource recovery, creating jobs, and revitalizing communities. That's the future utilities. That's the utility of the future we're all working on. But today I will focus my discussion on LA's efforts on water sustainability and how we are working through the One Water LA plan and what we're doing to really make Los Angeles a sustainable and resilient city. I'm very proud of the work that the city is doing, the great work we are doing in forwarding the integrated water management concept, protecting public health and the environment, and transforming Los Angeles into a clean, green, and sustainable city. You know, Los Angeles became a great city because of water, but really today we have much more responsibility to protect that water and harness it for the future generations and for the continuous growth of the city and revitalization of the city. Los Angeles, as many of the cities across the country, are facing the same challenges. In some places, there's too much water. In some places, too little water. But we have issues that we have to manage. We have growing population in our urban cities, aging infrastructure, pollution of waterways, shortage of open space, shortage in water supplies, and a changing climate. So our future depends on dealing with these issues and adopting an ethic of sustainability and changing our relationship with water. To meet these challenges and to address these challenges and make our cities sustainable and a healthy place for us to live, we need what I call the 3 I's: the integration, innovation, and inclusion. What we need is we need to have bold integrated solutions that provide multi-benefits. We need to leverage our resources to improve water quality, capture and reuse more local water, conserve water use, maximize the use of recycled water, capture nutrients, and generate green energy, and many, many more. Our Mayor Garcetti, developed and adopted a sustainability plan and executive order that you see him signing here, setting an aggressive goal for the city to become resilient and sustainable. The goal basically is by 2035, we have to make 50% of the water we use in Los Angeles locally sourced. As compared to now, we basically import 85% of the water into Los Angeles. We need to focus our efforts on addressing the ability to meet the mayor's goal of 50%. To address that, we need to basically work together. You know, we have to look at water as one water. It doesn't matter where it's coming from, whether it's recycled water, whether it's groundwater, whether it's stormwater. For us to meet that goal, we have to collaborate and work together, and that's really what we have done under the One Water LA plan. And we are moving forward on many fronts to make Los Angeles sustainable and meet the mayor's goal. We are using an integrated approach to manage the water regardless of its source. We are moving forward on upgrading our water reclamation plants in the Valley and the San Pedro area to advance water purification plants through the use of better membrane technology. We are working on increasing rainwater harvesting across the city. We incentivize our residents now to increase their water conservation efforts and encouraging them to replace their lawns and use drought-friendly plantings. We are giving now rebates for cisterns, which is new. We have low-impact development ordinances to require developments and redevelopments to capture 85 percentile storms, which basically 85% of the storms on-site for reuse and infiltration. And we're moving forward on many of these fronts that you see in front of you, whether it's recycled water, stormwater, water conservation, clean water cleanup. But today I'll talk a little bit more about a couple of them that are really the highlight of what we're doing in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, we've done a great job over the many years. We have done a lot. Our water consumption today in Los Angeles is the same as it was 40 years ago, with 1.5 million more people, but more needs to be done for us to be sustainable. So we're working very hard on increasing our water reuse. And the way we're going to be doing it is through connecting the dots. And what I call the dots is the most difficult thing for anyone to maximize reuse is to be able to have the supply closer to the demand. And that's something that we are dealing with in Los Angeles, because the topography of the city, if the flow goes, the wastewater flow goes all the way down to the ocean, it's very hard to bring the flow back all the way to the demand in the upper parts of the city. So we need to work really hard of how we work that out and how we address this. This picture here shows you the various systems that we're talking about. This is the upper area in the city. This is the richest area that has active and very rich aquifers that we need to recharge. And these are our treatment plants. This is the Tillman Plan, this is the LA Glendale plant, and this is the Hyperion plant by the airport, and this is the San Pedro by the Port of Los Angeles. And you can see the expansion of the recycled water system is in the vicinity of the treatment plants, which makes sense because really the infrastructure is the biggest cost for a lot of what we're doing. But we're changing that dialogue. We're changing a lot of that, and we're working very hard on addressing it. I'll give you just a quick example. In this area right here, we're expanding, and I'll go through it quickly, but we're expanding and adding 30 million gallons a day of advanced water purification system that will allow us to go all the way up to the spreading grounds in this area and replenish the groundwater. In this area right here, this is the LA Glendale plant. We are actually building storage system here to provide more equalization for wastewater that we can treat and distribute more water to the users in the area. And that recycled water line has been expanded down to different parts of the city. In the area by the harbor, San Pedro, we are actually expanding our advanced water purification plant, which should be done early next year, and that should basically make the entire plant with the high purified water to be reused. And we're dealing with a lot of other areas here to maximize and partner with our partner communities to distribute water, and we're building some satellite plants in different areas that require demand. But really the biggest bang we see is if you can treat the water and put it in the ground for groundwater recharge. That's really we see as the best potential for all of us. And then we know we're all working towards at some point to direct potable or a quicker recovery of that water, but the regulations are being done a lot in California. Hopefully that will be soon. Just to walk you through some of the treatment plants we're doing right now. This the Terminal Island treatment plant, which is the one by the Port of Los Angeles. We're doubling the production of purified advanced treated water to 12 MGD that would allow for supply to the Dominguez Gap that is a sea water barrier. We're supplying industrial and commercial customers, and also we're supplying water to Machado Lake, a lake that was using potable water for makeup water. Now we're going to use advanced water purified water for addressing the issue. The LA Glendale plant, that's the one I showed you where it had the storage being added. We're expanding the distribution system, but also building a 5 million gallon equalization storage system. But also we have fill stations now for the public to come in and use recycled water and fill up to 300 gallons at the plant and also at the LA Zoo, which is next to the water reclamation plant. The Tillman Plan, this is the one in the San Fernando Valley. That's where the richest and the most productive aquifer we have. We're expanding the recycled water system similarly, but also we are looking at ways to, with water conservation, we're seeing, I mean, it's a great thing, but also what we're seeing is the wastewater flow is down. The wastewater flow is going down. That means the recycled water is going down because it's wastewater being treated. And we have a lot more demand in this area for groundwater recharge than we have supply. So we had to rethink through the One Water planning. We're actually rethinking how we can get more wastewater to the treatment plant here to make up for the water that's being conserved. And actually we're going to be building sewers as part of this One Water plan that would reverse the flow of some of the sewers and that used to go downstream in the system to the airport, the treatment plant, the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant by the airport. We're going to bring it back towards this facility to increase the wastewater flow reaching the facility so we can get more recycled water. So that's kind of the integrated approach that we are talking about that really makes a lot of sense. And in Hyperion, our biggest, this is the area that basically is by the airport and by the ocean. And when the most difficult issue we have here is when you get the water at this location, it's very hard to bring it back to the users. So we're working with our partners along the area here in the West Basin. So we have to have regional solutions to expand the water that we get to West Basin by 70 million gallons and build an MBR facility at that location, at our location. We're partnering with the airport to provide them recycled water for the airport expansion and the airport water use to address that. And also upstream, as I mentioned, we are taking more flow into the upstream water reclamation plants to augment their flow to have more recycled water. And in some areas in the city, actually, we are looking at a satellite plant. This is an area by UCLA called Rancho Park. We are looking at a stormwater capture along with a mining of the sewer, building a satellite plant to treat stormwater, treat wastewater to a level to distribute that water as recycled water to supply the golf courses, the parks in the area. Those golf courses and parks are the highest users of potable water at this point, and also to partner with UCLA and provide recycled water to UCLA and the customers in the area. So that's a thinking that we are working very hard on addressing that. And you can see our goal is to take Los Angeles from right now we're at about 80% imported supply to making it 40% local supply and maybe meeting the mayor's goal of 50% sourced by building more water conservation, increasing the recycled water, doing groundwater recharge, and also stormwater capture. Stormwater capture is a critical element of our water formula and what we're trying to do. This is a model that we're doing as part of the One Water Plan. This is a very interactive model. We have been working with our partners and the consultants and the stakeholders on really managing the distribution of water and how water is managed. So everything we do, whether it's stormwater being put into the sewer system or recycled water being generated, and where is the demand and where is the water coming from, all this is now in a model that we are managing to manage the system in a better way. And this is a schematic. I can't be an engineer without showing you some complex graphic here, so I have to really throw that in just to validate that I'm an engineer still at heart. So I want to just show this is a very basis of the model that is a very interactive model. And this is the one I was talking about, the innovative discussion. This is really how creative we are being. This is the area that we are changing the flow and bringing more wastewater across the city back to the treatment plant to increase the amount of water that we are generating here. This area we were building a sewer that we stopped the sewer construction that was going to take the flow all the way down to Hyperion, and we are now building a storage facility here to maximize recycled water. And this is the area that I talked about, building a satellite plant and distributing the water to UCLA and to the neighbors in the area of Rancho Park. Stormwater is a critical element for us. It's a critical component. Every time it rains, there's billions of gallons that get washed to the ocean, and we need to transform that relationship. And the great thing about stormwater is really it's changing the relationship of people with water and our relationship with the community. People are excited now about water. All those stormwater green infrastructure projects that are treating stormwater are being seen as a huge asset to the community. It's making the community a better place to live. And these are examples of things that we're doing to increase our water treatment and wastewater treatment. And in this case, you see a project that used to be a gravel pit. This is a gravel pit in the disadvantaged community in the San Fernando Valley and Sun Valley. This one was bought. The community here didn't have storm drains, and we have bought this, and now we're building a wetlands park that will with the county and our partners in the region, and we are going to divert a runoff from 1,000 acres, get treated through the wetlands, and eventually get infiltrated into the ground for groundwater recharge. There's multi-benefits here. It's addressing flooding, water quality, replenishing the groundwater, and at the end of the day, providing a better place for the community to live. This is another project that we're capturing stormwater and treating it underground for a baseball field in Highland Park in the city, and we built a 1 million gallon cistern underground and an infiltration gallery, and the community got a new baseball field above it. Really, at the end of the day, we need to break the silos. It's no longer just having been able to just go build and build a treatment system. You need to be able to figure out how you're going to relate to your neighbors, because most solutions have to be regional solutions, but also how you're going to be able to partner with, for example, we have to build a facility for a satellite treatment now at a golf course that's owned by our recreation and parks, and we need to coordinate with them. They're going to get the water, but at the same time, we're using the space that they are offering. That partnership is critical, and that's what we are doing under the mayor's call to build an integrated water management effort, and we have a water cabinet that meets monthly under the mayor's leadership, and we are coming together, all of us, and we are looking at improving and building green infrastructure across the city, and we built a lot of these projects. Last Saturday I was at a groundbreaking or a ribbon cutting for a green alley in South Los Angeles that really converted a blighted alley into a stormwater capture infiltration alley with a beautiful passage we call the Greenway that's connecting people, and the community just loves that, and that's changing the excitement, the relationship with people with water. And this is the airport. The airport is expanding their facilities, but we have to come in and work with the airport to ensure that we are collaborating together on providing them the recycled water to support the airport expansion and work. At the same time, we are partnering with the airport to capture runoff from the airport, to treat it and infiltrate that to provide augmentation of our stormwater. So it's a win-win on every way. But at the end of the day, all of this, we need to engage the public early in the stage. And that's something that we're very proud of in Los Angeles that we have done that from the beginning, is engaging the community, the stakeholders, the partners that we have across the city in this effort. And because it's critical to get the support early in the stage. People have to really engage and provide us the input early in the stage, and it's essential to the success of any expansion of a facility, any investment. At the end of the day, people have to pay for this. And if they don't see the value and the benefit, and they're not engaged in the discussion, it's critical that they are engaged at every level. We open our doors. We have open houses, open facilities that people can come and see. We have a learning center now at our treatment plant, environmental learning center, that over 20,000 kids come and visit to learn about water and water treatment. And we have partnerships across the city for doing that. And the stakeholder process that's going on right now that I'm missing is today we have a One Water LA stakeholder meeting that's happening today to talk about the investments, the roadmap, and the projects we are doing. To me, at the end of the day, it's all about integration, innovation, and inclusion. And I know we all have to come together. I mean, it doesn't matter if we're regulators, policymakers, engineers, scientists, public servants, community members. We all need to come together, and also with the technology partners. I mean, that's critical. We need to figure out how we can partner with the innovation and technology, because we need to do things more efficiently, more effectively. Funding is also a critical element for all of us, and you need to figure out how we can be innovative in financing. So I believe there's opportunities for bringing new technologies to optimize how we do things, to optimize the treatment, to reduce the consumption of energy and capture resources. At the same time, maybe there's opportunity to bring in private-public partnership for investing in some of these projects. We're going to be looking at potential private-public partnership in the project we're looking at in Rancho Park, which we're going to be trying something different to see, can we bring new innovative technology into this? Can we bring new innovative funding ideas into this to maximize the benefit and minimize the impact on the public, and provide this partnership? So it's exciting time for us in Los Angeles. I know it's across the country. We are all working very hard on making our communities resilient, but I'm excited that we are connecting those dots and the drops, and at the end of the day, connecting the hearts. So thank you.